for geometric probability, you have to be able to find probability. And so, yeah. So probability is just the likelihood of something happening. And you've actually been doing this most of your lives and haven't really had to think about it, but now we have to write down how you do it. A geometric probability is a ratio that involves geometric stuff. Whoa. What are some geometric things we've been doing lately? Oh yeah, areas and lengths or whatever. Could I do the probability of a volume?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll save that for next unit when we go 3D. Okay? So to calculate probability, you need to find the amount of what you want out of the total of everything possible. And that's going to give you this ratio. You put it in your calculator and you get a decimal. Then you times it by 100, which is the moving the decimal 2 places, and it gets you a percent. And so we're going to always express probability as a percent. Okay? And that's the only new thing you're doing today, is taking all the junk you've already learned and finding probabilities. So if you're already good at the other stuff, this is going to be short and sweet. So I'm going to scooch ahead just a little bit and let's attempt one. Now, these are going to get complicated fast. So remember, being organized and showing work is helpful. So on here, I want to find the probability of being in the shaded region. So what is the thing that I want?
The probability of the shaded.
The area of the shaded. That is what I want. Well, how do I find the area of the shaded stuff?
You gotta find the total.
I've got to find the area of the big guy
Minus the small guy.
and minus the area of the small guy. Okay? So that's one set of things to do. What else do I need to do probability? The total. Well, what's the total amount I can possibly land on here? It's just the whole big thing, isn't it? I might land on the unshaded part, I might land on the shaded part, but it's all part of that big square. So this is your battle plan. And so now all you have to do is work through it. And some of you are like, oh yeah, I'm going to do all that in my head every time. You're going to lose track of something in a real hurry. So I really recommend you write the stuff down. Now how am I going to get the area of this big guy? What is that?
3 times 3.
It's a square. So I'm going to do 3 squared, which is 9. Well, then this area of the big guy is also 9, huh? Well, that's handy. I only had to do the work once. How do I get the area of the small guy?
2 squared.
2 squared, which is
4.
4. So the stuff I want is going to become how much? It's 5, and I'm not even using units yet, okay? And so now, do I have the amount I want?
Yeah.
Do I have a total?
Yeah.
So you're going to put your want over your total. So your 5 goes over 9 to give you your probability. And you put that in your calculator and you get something like 0.555555555. Where do you cut it off? Put it at 3 decimal places and round it there. So that when you turn it into a percent, you can move that decimal the 2 places and get 55.6%. Because that's what I'm going to ask for, is tenths of a percent. So tenths of a percent is going to look like that. That's all we do for probability. The stuff you want, the whole thing, make a ratio. So what would we do for this one? We don't need to work the whole thing, let's just plan it.
Find the big.
I need to find the big, so is that the thing I want or one of the parts?
Total.
Oh, that's your total. So your total thing is this big rectangle. So the big rectangle. But what's the stuff I want?
The shaded region.
Well, what are the shaded regions?
Rectangles. 2 rectangles.
2 rectangles, so little shaded, and big shaded. And so you're, okay, my little shaded guy is what shape? It's a rectangle. And so to get its area, you'll do length times width and get 24. And your big shaded,
27.
it's another rectangle, and it's going to be 27. And so what's the total of all the junk I want? And somebody who can do that in your head or has a calculator? 51 or 52?
51.
It is 51? Thank you. And that is an area, so it would be centimeters squared. Okay, just like this would have been, units squared, and this would have been units squared, right? So, when I did that up here, why did my answer not have units? Because guess what centimeter squares does with centimeter squares in a fraction? They cancel out. The units go away. And so your only units is going to be your percent sign. Okay? So I have 51 somethings units squared, whatever they are. Now what about my total?
45 times 10.
It's going to be the 45 times the 10, which is how much?
450.
450. So now my probability then is going to be the stuff I want out of the total possible things that I could hit.
11.3%.
And so that comes out to be 0.113 garbage, 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 which is going to be 11.3%. Okay. And some of you like to just write all scribble scrabble all over the place and sideways and off to one left and right and stuff. And I would at least be labeling what you're finding so you don't lose track. Okay? We are not going to work this one all the way through, but I want y'all to help me plan it. It says find the probability that I will be in the shaded region. Okay? So I need to know what my want is, and I need to know what my total is. So does somebody know what either one of those is?
Do I have circles?
Which is that? Is that the whole?
Oh, that's the asymptote. No.
Is that the want?
No.
That's not either of the
The total is the square.
The total is this square. How do you know for sure it's a square?
We are estimating.
Nope. Well, see how this is a semicircle and this is a semicircle? So if this is 10, that would be 5 and 5, right? But then this radius is 5 and this is 5, so the whole thing is 10. So my total area is just this square. So what's its area then?
100.
It's 100. But now I have to figure out how are you going to get just the shaded part? So we're not going to work it, but I want you to plan it for me. How would I get just the shaded part? Yes?
Should I say 10 squared, not 5 squared?
That's an S squared.
Oh, I thought that said 5.
I know, that's why I don't like using S's in math, because S's look like 5s.
What's it say it look like?
She said it looked like 5 squared when it was using 10.
Area of
Looks
the
nothing
square
like-
minus.
Okay, so it's going to be the area of the big square minus the unshaded part. Well, what do I have here?
A full circle.
Two half circles.
I have 2 half circles, which together make one whole circle. So the area of a circle. Well, do you know how to do those two things?
We do.
Yes.
Yes. And so the area of the square would be 100. The area of the circle would be what, 25 pi?
Yeah.
Because it'd be pi times the 5 squared.
Yep.
Okay. So now let's set up our ratio. What's the stuff I want?
100 minus 25.
This big old disgusting thing
Nasty.
out of 100.
Negative 25.
And negative? Is that really going to be negative?
It's just a minus.
It shouldn't be. Because 100 minus 25 pi is going to be like 20-something. 0.215 garbage, garbage, garbage. Okay? Which, when you move your decimal over, becomes 21.5%.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe? I don't know. Y'all can check me with a calculator. I'm just going off of what I did
Correct.
before.
That is correct.
Okay? Turn the page. We're almost done. Then we can start the quiz.
In the back,
What?
I still need a front. Okay.
Now this is good practice for the quiz. I want the probability that I'll be in the shaded region of this picture. Okay? So remember, we need a want and we need a total to get a probability. Which one do you want to do first, the want or the total?
Total.
Might as well do the total because you're going to use it to find your want. So what shape is your total?
Pentagon.
It's a pentagon. So you have to find the area of a pentagon. So you go, okay, what was I given?
The radius.
Really?
The apothem.
This is, no, it's the radius of the white circle, but it is the apothem of the pentagon. Okay? So watch out for that. So I'm going to need to figure some things out. So this is where I'm going to have to do my central angle and my half angle and my apothem and my half side and my side all to get my perimeter.
Oh my goodness.
So how do I get that central angle? This is going to go faster than you think. 360 divided by the 5, which is 72 degrees, is my central angle. But I don't use that one. I use the half angle. So what's this half angle going to be?
36 degrees.
It's going to be 36 degrees.
36.
And do I know my apothem?
So that's 7.
It's already 7. So I need this little half side. It's, oh, I don't know it.
You have to do trigonometry.
Yeah, since I don't have a special right here, I'm going to have to do trig. So something with that 36-degree angle. Now the side I want, this piece right here, is opposite the angle.
So it's
The piece I have is adjacent,
tangent.
so it's going to be tangent of that 36 degrees will equal my opposite over my adjacent.
7.
So somebody work out the 7 tangent 36.
5.08.
5.08? Cool. Now that's x. What of these things is x?
Half side.
It's your half side. See how kind of keeping organized is going to help us here? Well, then I need a full side. So how big is a full side? 10.16. And then the perimeter will be, what, 50.96? 4 times 5?
It's 50.8.
50.8?
Yeah.
Okay. So now so to find the area of my pentagon, that's 1/2 AP. Do I have all the pieces I need now? Yeah. What?
X is 5.09, so then
Okay, close enough for government work. Okay. And so my apothem was 7. My perimeter is 50.8 round garbage, whatever. So the area of my pentagon, somebody who has a calculator, because I do not.
177.8.
I'm sorry, what?
177.8.
177.8?
Yep.
Okay, I'll buy that. 177.8. What did I just find here?
Area.
Which was what? The total I needed. Okay? This is why keeping track of stuff is important, so you know what numbers you found. Okay, so I'm done, right?
No. You need to find the wall.
Well, how do I find the want?
Higher square.
No, it's the,
Well, do I want the circle?
it's the pentagon minus the circle.
The want is the shaded stuff outside, so I need the area of the pentagon minus the area of the circle. Now, I know the area of the pentagon already is 177.8. We already did that work. But now we got to go through and do the area of the circle, which will be pi r squared. So the area of my circle, well, what is the radius of this white circle? It is the 7. So it's going to be 49 pi. So minus 49 pi. Now, our answer is gonna end up into a percent anyway, so can I go ahead and work this with decimals?
Yes.
Yes, you can use the decimals. So park that into your calculator here and tell me what my want
23.
ends up being. Say again?
23.9.
23.9? Nope, that's just my want. See, this is why you keep track of what you're finding.
Divide by.
Now I need to do my want over my total to get the percent, to get the probability. So you're going to do that 23.9 whatevers over the 177.8 whatevers, and it's going to be approximate because we approximated pi and we rounded here and it's all good. But what do you come out to be about?
134.
134,
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
Which, when you change it into a decimal, 13.4%. Now, does it make sense that this little skinny amount out here is only 13%?
Yeah, about.
Yeah, because it's really skinny. Okay? Do you want to do another example, or do you feel like, yeah, this is how you do it?
Let's start.